Vivian, it's so delightful to be able to just connect with you again after you've been in a couple of other books that has been hosted by Sharon Jordan, and we're just so excited because this book, and actually I wish I had the cover printed up because we've got the graphics done, but I didn't put it on the screen. But this book is called The Imaginist, Fairy Tales, Fables, and Folklore. And your chapter just has me so intrigued. I haven't had a chance, but reading the title, A Sparkle in Time. Can you tell us a little bit about what this chapter's about? What your special tidbits that you can kind of share with us?
Of course, with pleasure. Absolutely a joy to be with you again, Becky, for another quite amazing book project. So thrilled, and I was previously with the Silver Sisters series on book one, volume 1 and 2, and now a brand new, The Imaginists. So very inspired by my own experience as well as what I'm observing, experiencing, and even on a multidimensional level. So A Sparkle in Time talks about an avatar soul essence who consciously choose to come back and explore in physical form, and through her experience got an opening, an invitation, and a most unexpected invitation to spend 7 years with a galactic fairy in a realm.
Oh my
And
goodness.
what? Yes,
Wow.
7 years. And what did it mean? And what she learned, what this beautiful avatar soul essence learned. And you'll see that it's taking the readers on a very extensive, beautiful, expanded awareness, multidimensional journey that opens up the doors of our creativity, new possibilities, and helping us to go beyond linear thinking and to go, oh, we are part of this really vast multiverse, and there's so many different kingdoms or realms that coexist with us. So working with the fairies or the elves and the elementals and the gnomes are no longer just children's books or fantasies. So it's mixing that imagination, fantasy energy into new realities, and will ask us what else is possible. What else is possible? What can I do more? What if that chapter, that experience is based on true events, what else is possible for us? So it's very much a blend of higher wisdom, universal exploration, and also very down to earth. And then whoop, we open this kingdom as we journey with this soul avatar self. And her name is Valencia. That's the
What
name
is her
of our
name?
character.
What is her name?
Valencia. Valencia.
Valencia.
Valencia.
Very, very pretty. So, what was the inspiration that is behind you deciding to take this subject matter and bring it to light?
Part of my inspiration is also part of a lot of the international trip. I just came back. I went to Egypt, did a lot of really specific, huge planetary activation in many sacred sites. Is to learning to decode the true history on the walls of those sacred sites, the pyramid, the synergy of the masters before or who've come to the planet, and especially where we are, that conjunction of conscious expansion in this world. And if you look at the conscious awakening of so many star seed, I'm thinking, how can we bring something that will have a positive, uplifting impact on the readers? So it's partially part of observation, experience, what I remember to ancient memory connectors, and then the picture became very clear in front of me, because when I ask through higher guidance, how can we best contribute to this book? The 7 years of the Galactic Fairy in the realm came right away to the front burner, because I knew this is where we were going. And there's so many books written about fairies and how to connect with them and all of this. I feel that our chapter, it's accumulation of all of this, but even beyond. It leaves the doorway open to what else is possible? How can I communicate that way?
Right, right. That's beautiful. And what the personal wisdom that you already have, which I know is quite in depth, and because of the way you serve in the world, how did how was it as you put pen to paper to imbue your own wisdom into your character?
The character is also based on personal experience I've had. I have the ability, Becky, to really interact with interdimensional consciousness. When I travel, for example, like when we were in South Africa last year with my husband, we were walking through a beautiful park, a national park, and the ecosystem of that park was partially forestry and partially beach with ocean, with the Indian Ocean. And as we were walking in that pathway between two very distinct ecosystems, I turned around and I did see with my own eyes this gateway or this portal, this energetic gateway opening. And the transmission I received was, well, this is one of the portal that the fairy utilized on this part of the planet. And I told my husband, let's stop walking. There's an opening to fairy to the realm of the fairies. And he looked at me, oh, sure, yes. It's like he's rolling his eyes. And I said, I know, because I have interacted with them. I know what it feels. I know what it is like. So I remember distinctively that one moment in time where I stood there in this African national park and watching this entrance into fairy kingdom. They know that I can see them, and I know that they can see me. So there's this soul recognition with each other. So I thank them for this gift, or even just witnessing that gateway opening for me, knowing that it's one of their many portals on the planet. And I was very honored with that gift. So this is just an example of what really inspired me, what the wisdom, and I feel that readers can really benefit and extract from it. My chapter is designed to be read more than once.
I would
It's about,
imagine because it's a lot to take in.
yes, and I attempted to keep it condensed. I wrote just about over 1,000 words. We're about 1,055, 1,054, and I know we had a limit of 1,500, so I was still generous in the marks. And I felt that there was no need to add anything more because it's a crescendo of energetic wisdom, transport, imagination, opening to the heart, feel it, experience it, and then integrate and then go back to it again. So it's going to be a really beautiful journey for everyone.
Oh, I can see that. So when you sit down and actually put pen to paper to write, especially, I know you do a lot of writing already. You've contributed to other articles. What creates the environment for you to be able to just clear your mind and think and to write, put pen to paper?
That's a fabulous question. Usually, what I do is I step into more my Arcturian self. So I allow myself to step outside of the limited 3D linear logic mind, and I tap into a more open aspect of myself, in my case, my Arcturian self. And I asked, show me the vibrational alignment. What is the essence of that book, that project, or that article? Show me the potential it can create for readers, and what can we bring to even moving forward in the future, so to speak. Many readers will discover the book and come across a chapter even 5 years down the road.
Right.
How can it be still pertaining to them? So I'm relying energically to the potential of what this chapter or this article can create. I did the same way for a lady who is the host of Passion Harvest. She used to be in Australia, now she's in France. And a few years ago, I would say 2, 3 years ago, she asked me to write a blog for her readers. But the blog was about opening the cosmic heart. I can tell you that if you read that blog today, it still pertains as it was 3 years ago. So that's the kind of inspiration I align myself with to see what is it that we wish to co-create. Because in reality, Becky, our chapter become an imprint in time. It really is
Yes.
an imprint in time. So it's designed to continuously inspire, no matter what the date of the book or the publication says. So we want to transcend that.
It's beautiful. So it's interesting, we live in a kind of in a world right now that has a lot of things going on, a lot of confusion for a lot of people with just the elections coming up, everything, the wars that are taking place. How does this all kind of tie together, and what do you see happening with humanity as a whole right now?
There's a necessity, Becky, for the transmutation, the healing, and the reconciliation of certain wounds. So if you take my chapter, A Sparkle in Time, there's no conflict, there's no duality, there's no polarization. It shows the potential of what we can do to really transmute all of this, to transcend beyond. It shows what else is possible to experience beyond the old 3D frame of
Right.
all historical wounds to war, conflict, whether it's the 80s, whether it wasn't back in the 40s, whether it's back of what's going on to today's in 2023 and beyond. It is time for us to truly release our attachments, emotional entanglement, post-traumatic stress. If we really want to co-create a new paradigm, it is impossible to carry over the old paradigm hoping we're going to create something new.
Right.
We have to
To let it go.
disassociate ourselves. Yes.
Awesome. Well, it takes many of us that are willing to step up and make the changes. And I think it's interesting because I think that as you observe, and if you stand back to really take the time to observe, I think that's happening more and more, that people are making these kind of choices, because the other way doesn't work anymore. It never worked, but it does, especially now.
And absolutely, the old ways are obsolete, and we need to transmute that. And I've learned that even recently. What I thought I was going to collaborate with a project on peace, but it was going into more exploring old ways to hoping to change the energy behind it and move forward. And in my galactic perspective, it's no longer where we're going.
Doesn't work.
No, it no longer works anymore. Look at just the last 3 years alone, Becky. Look at the changes. Look at people have been coming into their own world wild. It is still works to do, or is there still opportunity? Yes, of course. But it's like a masterpiece, a master song that has shifted its tone, and it will continue to perfect itself as we're sustaining that new tone without having to repeat the same old tune underneath it. Let's create a new tones. And part of my vision for A Sparkle in Time, for this amazing new book coming out, is to create that new spark, and that spark in time that allows us to move forward in a brand new direction.
Beautiful. What a beautiful interview. And thank you for taking the time today to spend for this. And what a privilege it is to be able to just enjoy the whole process. And I think I have one of the best positions because I get to interview all of you authors in this book. And it is so cool because, the recurring theme throughout the whole book is the same words that you're saying, different ways of saying them, but still the same words.
And I love it when like the authors or the co-authors of this book you listen to all of us, and we can tell that we are holding a common goal. We're sustaining the essence of the book, which is beautiful avenue and different multifacets. And I think that's making the book even more unique.
Very good. Excellent. So for those that are actually listening to this video right now, when you pick up a copy of this book, and obviously in order to be listening to this video, you've got that copy, take the time to read the words that Viviane has shared with us, take it in, and like she said, they're not meant to be read one or just once and that's it. Read it several times and take it in, and then turn the pages to the other chapters as well, and really take in what the authors of this book, the Imaginists, are saying to us, and what what wisdom they want to impart. Thank you so much, Vivian, for really taking the time, because you've been very busy. You've been traveling. You've been doing a lot. Thank you. I'm so happy you are part of this.
It is a joy. The moment I got the invitation, I knew in my heart, Vicki, that I have to be a part of this, and I made it happen. And of course, thanks to Willow, Sharon, she immediately welcomed me with open arms and gave me an extension so I can write my chapter. And I'm going to leave you on a little fun note, little sparkle here. More than a quarter, if not 1/3 of this chapter was written on a flight on the way back from Greece back to the US. And I had the laptop open, flying thousands of miles in the air. And I was just starting. I said, this is the beginning of my chapter. And this is how it began.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing the way you do, and for just showing up and living the life that you live. And so we will conclude our interview for today.